from women you know. Now, Central Valley Today.
Taking care of an elderly loved one is a lot of work, both physically and mentally. And that's why local home care agencies are hosting a conference to help all you caregivers out there understand the challenges and get the support that you need. The conference is called Celebrating the Caregiver. And here to tell us all about it, we have Eddie Davis from Hospice Home Care, Jennifer Woches from Wyndham Senior Living, and we've got Gary Rossi. He's from Sunrise Senior Living. They are all sponsors of the event, and we're so glad to have them here today. Thank you all for joining us.
You're welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Well, first of all, Eddie, let's start with the details and with you. Why have this conference, and when and where is it going to be?
It's going to be held on Saturday, March the 2nd from 8 o'clock a.m. to 2 p.m. It's going to be held at People's Church. And we've held this event for the last 5 years. And so celebrating the caregiver is something that's very passionate, that all of us are really, very passionate about, because we've seen caregivers going through the whole caregiving experience.
Yeah.
And, the different things that are going along with this process, a lot of people don't feel they have support. And so with the Caregiver Conference, we wanted to put together a really good group of professionals, community resources that people can access and find out about. Maybe I don't need the in-home care portion right now, but maybe I need to look at assisted living. Maybe look at the in-home skilled health and things like that. So that's kind of the goal of the conference.
Oh, so helpful. Because Jennifer, I imagine there's many layers to caring for a senior.
There definitely is.
So tell me what Wyndham offers.
So the Wyndham is an independent and assisted living community. We offer two different kinds of independent living. We have independent cottages as well as apartments. So we're kind of the start of senior living, and then it goes up from there as people need more assistance.
Oh, wonderful. And Gary, we can't leave out Sunrise Senior Living. What are you guys known for?
Well, we're a big organization. We've got several hundred properties across the country in Canada and England.
Wow.
And our specialty is basically care of the seniors, clinical care. So we have assisted living, and we also have memory support for folks that have memory issues like Alzheimer's, that type of thing.
So I've heard about these memory centers or memory support. Is that something you're seeing a lot of these days?
Yes.
A lot of folks need it?
In the years that I've done this, we've seen it increase every year.
So Eddie, as a caregiver, what do you think many people don't understand maybe when they start out with mom and dad who are not doing so well?
I think the first part about being a caregiver is understanding, the support systems that are available. I've been going through it recently with my family. And I think when you're going out there and trying to take care of your loved one, and you don't understand that there's all these great resources out there available.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about Sunrise and Wyndham. I mean, those are just two of many great resources that we have out there. I mean, you have all these great things like skilled home health that a lot of people don't know about. My dad, for example, has been falling a lot at home, and they never thought about calling for skilled home health. And eventually got it in place, and he's been, maintaining a little bit better. But, still, my mom had no idea. Even though I work in this industry,
right.
And I'm like, Mom, you need to do these things. But, eventually some caregivers get to the point of burnout, and that's what we're trying to prevent with this Caregiver Conference, is really celebrating the caregiver, letting them know there's all these great resources out there available, and when to reach out to them, know how to pay for them, because everybody's under the misconception that some insurances pay for stuff they don't pay for. And I know Gary and Jennifer can tell you, assisted living is a private pay, service, just like our service at Hospice Home Care. So when you look at private pay options, that could get pretty excessive over time. If you don't have a plan in place, I mean, it could be, chaos for you, eventually.
Yeah. Let's talk about the mental aspect. Do you find, Jennifer, I think sometimes with elderly loved ones, they're quite stubborn to get help. Do you help the caregivers understand that aspect?
We're a little unique at the Wyndham because we have such a strong independent population that probably half of our prospective residents are looking for themselves. That does not mean they're not stubborn. They're always looking in the future.
I'm speaking
it's never
for my
for now. But definitely I think that we are still working with a generation that is very resistant to asking for help.
Yes.
And hesitant to invest in themselves as far as going to assisted living or something like that. And so it is challenging to convince them that they're worth it and that they've earned the right to this at the end of their life.
They sure do. And Gary, what's your message for the caregivers out there? I mean, it really is a tough job.
It's hard to tell sometimes whether it's harder on the person that needs the help or the person that's helping the person that needs the help. And we see caregivers just putting so much effort into working with the loved one, whether it's their mom or their dad or their grandmother or whoever it might be, a spouse sometimes. And they need a lot of support.
Yeah.
And they get a lot of support from us, from people like Jennifer and people like Eddie.
The great groups.
Yeah, and that's what we really concentrate on, helping as well as the resident.
Right. Well, like you said, Eddie, there is lots of help out there, so don't be afraid to ask for help, including this free forum celebrating the caregivers Saturday, March 2nd, and there still are spots open. We can
Yes.
still register?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, you can register by calling a number on your screen. It's 559-708-7951. Oh, such a wonderful thing. Thank you to all your organizations for hosting it, and I know it's going to be a lot of great information out there.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having us.
Thanks so
Appreciate
much. And don't change that channel, folks. You will not want to skip breakfast thanks to one yummy smoothie. We're going to show you how to start off your day the healthy way. That's next.
Has been a hallmark of Old Town Clovis.